Here we go. Courage the Cowardly Dog, Freaky Fred, written by David Stephen Cohen and Bill Marcilli. Wow, that's a strange name, man. All right, here we go. Fade in. Point of view shot of the shot. Should we read all that, or should I just read the?
Not me.
Yeah, just read it.
Okay, cool. Fred. Hello, new friend. My name is Fred. The words you hear are in my head. I said. My name is Fred, and I've been very naughty.
I can't wait for that wee lad Fred to arrive.
That freak's not setting one freaky foot in...
Your mic cut out. Say it again.
That freak's not setting one freaky foot in this house.
Fred's holding a picture of Muriel.
The story I'm about to tell, I tell you, I will tell it, I will, is one of my dear aunt, Marielle, and just how I've been naughty.
Courage looks at the farmer concerned. The farmer lays it on thick.
The freak's a barber, a freaky barber, with his own freaky barber shop, where freaky things happen, freaky barber things.
Courage cowers. Through the window, the familiar farmhouse comes into view.
Voila! The farm. My aunt lives here, with precious pup and husband dear.
From Fred's point of view, the bus doors open. The farmhouse is revealed.
My heart beats fast as I drew near. I felt so nice and naughty.
In the bedroom, there is at the front door. Oh, that must be Fred! Muriel heads off to answer the door. Angle into Courage, peeking at the front door from the staircase. Oh, this is long. Okay. Courage imagines, and we see it in a thought balloon, a quick succession of different psycho monsters waiting for her on the other side. A drooling freak in a raincoat, an insect man, Frankenstein's monster, a mime, and etc. Courage panics and shakes. Slow truck in on the front door during the following.
I thought just how excited they must be that I would come today. They'd shout, "Come, Fred! Huzzah! Hooray! Dear boy, you look so naughty."
The door begins to open. Muriel is delighted. "Ah, Fred, my dear nephew. What brings you to our cozy corner of the world?" Fred is revealed to us for the first time. A weird but apparently innocuous, tight little worm of a man.
Holiday.
He smiles, a grin that would make a child cry. Fred sits in the middle of the sofa, clutching his little travel bag in his lap, his legs pressed tightly together. Muriel is in a rocker. "Courage! Come and meet Fred!" On the stairs, peering through the railing, frightened. Fred stares at Courage. Fred is smiling, real weird, bringing him closer with each of Fred's lines.
That's when my tired eyes beheld a doggy dog. Like dog he smelled, D-O-G is what he spelled, and that's how I spell naughty.
Courage, sitting beside Fred on the sofa, frightened. Fred grins at Courage. The farmer is coming down the stairs.
Gotta go to the hardware store and get the, fix the bathroom door.
Everyone is looking at the farmer. He heads towards the door.
Just don't try shutting it, cause won't be able to get it open.
Muriel calls to the farmer. Eustace, our guest is here. Say hello to Fred. A beat of cavernous silence. The farmer stares. Muriel makes a determined gesture with her head. Courage cowers. Fred sits, unmoving, staring straight at the farmer. The farmer reluctantly sits down on the other side of Fred.
Yeah. Hiya. Freak.
So, Fred, it's very nice that you found time to visit. You must be very busy.
Yes, I got away.
I think you might cut out.
I got away! Alright, go.
Courage notices something dangling from Fred's wrist under his coat sleeve. As he realizes he's looking at a manacle and a chain and a medieval handcuff, a tag hangs from the manacle reading, "Home for Freaky Barbers." There is a phone number on the tag as well, but it's hard to read. Courage, alarmed, leads to Muriel, whispering and acting out Fred's medieval wristband. Courage, shush now! Muriel turns to Fred. You must be exhausted. Fred, dear, would you like to freshen up? Fred rubs his face, producing a sandpaper-like sound.
Yes. Been quite the trip. It has.
Courage, show Fred the bathroom, please.
No! No!
Such a fuss. This rudeness won't do. Courage and Fred are at the stairs. Courage pointedly allows Fred to go first. They head upstairs. The farmer rises from the sofa.
Okay, I'm going. Just don't close that bathroom door.
The farmer heads towards the door, muttering,
Freaky, freaky, freak.
Eustace, dear. Eustace stops in his tracks, but doesn't turn around. Could you do me a favor? I forgot to give Fred fresh towels. Would you bring him some? Muriel holds out towels. Eustace shudders, then turns around with a look of disgust on his face. Cut to upstairs. Courage watches as Fred goes into the bathroom, but leaves the door ajar. Courage waits outside. There's silence. Then the farmer arrives with the towels. He proffers them to Courage.
You, give them to the freak.
I don't remember there
Courage.
being any phones.
Courage shakes his head vigorously. The farmer stares at the dog, then drops the towels on his head, shoves him in the bathroom, and slams the door closed.
Whoops.
Courage is inside the bathroom. The door being shaken, Courage is trying to open it from inside, but cannot. It's stuck good and tight. The farmer points, snickering. Muriel comes up the stairs. I heard the door slam.
The door slammed.
Oh. Cut to the bathroom. Courage does a slow turn to discover Freaky Fred sitting on the toilet seat lid, pants on, knees pressed tightly together, staring right at him, and there's a slow grin forming. Cut to the hallway.
Well, I guess I'd better get...
The farmer exits. Muriel on the bathroom door. Now don't you boys worry. Eustace will be back to get the door open. Cut to the bathroom. Courage has pressed himself against the wall, petrified. He tries to act nonchalant, pushing the towels on the floor neatly to the sink with his foot. Fred, staring at and grinning at Courage. Courage shivers in fear.
Alone I was with tender courage, and all his fur, his furry furage, which I say did encourage me to be quite naughty. Courage.
Courage begins darting his eyes over his body.
Your hair. It reminds me of the first time I knew just how I felt about hair.
As Fred begins his tale.
It was a day I don't not forget. The day I first met my pet.
It's a flashback.
Oh, what a lovely gift to get. I never felt so naughty.
An adorable little hairy hamster looking happily off.
My fuzzy friend is what he was. This darling little ball of fuzz. And oh, so such fuzz it does demand that I be naughty.
Suddenly, the hamster looks at us, terrified. The sound of a razor is heard. Push in, slowly. Courage, with the same terrified look as the hamster.
He looked at me. His fetching eyes and fetching fur did hypnotize.
He takes the shower curtain down and absently drapes it around Courage as a barber's bib.
I filled with joy. I filled with sighs.
Fred opens his little bag and removes it from a big, cartoony, portable electric shaver.
That's when I got naughty.
And clicks on the shaver. Courage is terrified. Fred moves the razor closer and closer to Courage. Courage is about to bolt from the seat. Fred holds him gently. Courage notices Fred's cuff tag. Courage strains to read the information, but stops when Fred starts to delicately shave Courage's fur on his head and continues telling him the tale. Back to the hamster, shaved hairless, now a skinny, gaunt mouse of a thing. Back to the bathroom. Fred, leaning against the wall, blinks out of his reverie and notices that Courage is gone. He looks around. He's shaking madly. Fred opens it to withdraw a wet and shaking Courage, who now has a mohawk right out of Taxi Driver.
Now, you shouldn't play in the toilet.
Muriel is in her rocking chair knitting. Don't worry, boys. Eustace should be at the hardware store by now. Cut to the truck. The farmer is parked at the side of a road, listening to the radio and reading his newspaper, having a blast and in no hurry to rescue Courage.
Oh.
Cut to the bathroom. Courage is back on the hot seat, drenched from the toilet. Fred runs his fingers through their wet fur as he begins part 2 of his story.
This dripping wet hair, this droopy curl, unfurl sweet memories of a girl with tresses. Oh, they'd twist and twirl and tempt me to be naughty.
Into a flashback. A beautiful young woman with long braids of blonde hair stares at us with love in her eyes.
Barbara, my love was named, and her fair hair a mane untamed.
One with her hair out into a beautiful coiffure and smiles.
Until one evening I'm ashamed. I got a little naughty.
One of the girl with her eyes closed and puckers up to the camera for a kiss. But instead, we hear the sudden buzzing of Fred's electric razor. The girl's eyes open in terror. And and Courage has the same look in his eyes as Fred's razor swoops down upon him. The razor dips like a gull, pulling fish from a lake. Hair falls, fur flies. The girl's eyes, Courage's eyes, both wide and trembling.
The look upon my young love's face was sweet as lace, but in this case, I realized she needed space.
We reveal the girl, and she's now totally bald. She looks up at her non existent bouffant, and her expression is total anger. She looks at the camera with murderous rage. Cut to the bathroom. Fred, alone in the shot, stares. That's Fred, or Courage. Oh, wait.
Stares off in
alone,
Riviere.
concluding,
I never more was naughty. Well, maybe not never.
Fred comes out of it when he notices a pair of kicking feet coming from the sink. Reveal Courage trying to escape through the sink. Half his body stuffed impossibly into the tiny drain. Fred stares as briefly as possible at Courage's hairy butt sticking up out of the sink and extracts him by the tail.
Playful little scamp.
Now Courage looks like a hula dancer. His entire top half has been shaved bare. The fur around his waist looks like a grass skirt. As Fred places Courage back onto the toilet seat lid in shaving position, a knock comes at the door. Cut to the hallway. Muriel is on the bathroom door, slipping some flat hotcakes buttered. Slipping some flat hotcakes buttered and covered with syrup under the door. Is everything all right in there? Wonderful! And you, Fred?
His fur is life to me.
Wonderful! I'm so glad that the two of you are getting acquainted. Eustace should be back any moment now. Cut to a tropical beach. Eustace is lounging on the beach in his bathing suit. His truck is parked behind him, beside him, sipping a beverage, taking in the sun. Cut back to the bathroom. But here's a bite. Side you over. Fred bends down to pick up the food. Desperately, Courage is trying to escape through the wall using a pickaxe, a jackhammer, banging his own head against the wall, while finally yelling,
Break! Break!
Fred notices Courage's efforts to escape, shakes his head in bemusement. He simply picks up the dog and stuffs a hotcake into his mouth. He holds Courage up near his shoulder like a young child. He feeds him with his other hand while leaning against the sink.
No need to panic. Behold, substance. Hungry whelp.
As Courage notices Fred's wrist tag and tries to read it, it dangles under Fred's sleeve, reading, Home for freaky barbers. How's my shaving? Call 555-123. The last digit is hidden by fabric. Courage whips out his cell phone and dials 555-123. He looks back at the manacle for the last digit, but Fred's arm moves. Fred shoves another hotcake into Courage's already overstuffed mouth.
Mmm. Delectable.
As Fred does this, Courage finally manages to stealthily yank the ID tag off of Fred's cuff. Fred shoots Courage A sudden look. Courage, terrified, tries to smile innocently. Half the hot cake is sticking out of Courage's mouth. The smile sends it drooping over his chin like a beard. It works. Fred smiles back, then shaves the pancake beard with the razor and closes in on what remains of Courage's fur.
Dear cur, your fur and fleece remind me of nothing found in humankind, but for one fellow who did find me to be in a certain mood.
Cut to a flashback of Fred's barber shop. Whiskers McCoy is standing in front of a barber chair.
Into my shop he walked one day.
The hairiest western varmint since Yosemite Sam. His beard is so full, all we can see of his face is two eyes.
With bush above and beer bouquet. That's no toupee, I pray. No way I could help but be, you know.
Cut back to the bathroom. Fred's point of view as the bearded hirsute fellow is lying back in Fred's barber chair.
Just a trim, partner.
The guy leans back, closes his eyes. You see Fred's hands come into the shot and start to shave just a little.
I'd never seen such hair before. Oh, facial forest, unshorn sure. It wanted freedom, begged for floor. How could I be but naughty?
And we see it. Fred just can't stop shaving this guy. A mad series of shots follows. We can go very Fleischer here, showing the hair up close as the razor plows through like a great dozer plowing through the belt.
His bangs, they sang. His neck, it beckoned. Eyebrows, armpits, all were reckoned. Soon I figured, what the heck? And guess how I was? Naughty.
Cut to the bathroom. Courage looks down in amazement as the razor buzzes his own hair. Cut to the farmhouse. Muriel, still outside the bathroom, is now watching TV. Muriel doesn't seem to hear, looking impatient, wondering where Eustace is. Cut to the bathroom. Fred, shearing the last of Courage's hair from the dog's toes. Courage, cell phone in hand, dialing a number he's reading off Fred's cuff tag. Then, let me see here. Cut to the movie theater. The farmer is seated in the theater, asleep, popcorn scattered across his lap. We hear the movie soundtrack in the beginning. Cut to the bathroom. Courage, he's a bald doggy now. The only part of him left with hair is his tail. Fred is now sitting, legs together, staring his Tony Perkins stare. He's gotten so excited telling his stories, he had to sit down. He smiles at Courage, razor in hand, then crooks a bony finger and pats his lap. Courage takes his tail in hands and shields it from Fred, yammering fear and protest. Fred laughs gently, shaking his head.
Sweet Pooch, afraid I'll shave your tail. Why, no. That would be weird.
From outside, we hear a truck pulling up, doors slamming, anxious voices. Various authorities. Surround the area! Ah, cut the power! We don't want anyone getting trapped in here! Fred goes to the window and peers out. He sighs.
Ah, so ends our little story.
Suddenly, there is sound of a hairpin working in the lock, and the bathroom door opens. Muriel has picked the lock. She stands there flanked by two bald muscle men in uniforms, obviously workers from the home of for demented barbers. Cut to the farm. Fred is in a straitjacket being led out of the house by the two men. Muriel and Courage stand watching from the porch as they load him into the rear of the white van.
But then my landlords did presume to free me from that porcelain tomb, and ferry to private room your hero ever doughty.
Fred stares out through a window as the van door closes and the van begins to pull away. Muriel and Courage wave from the porch. Oh, what a lovely visit. Too bad Eustace didn't get to say goodbye. As the van makes its way up the road, we stay on Muriel and Courage as we hear.
Goodbye, dear aunt. I'll miss your farm, and Eustace's jubilant charm. And farewell, Courage. What's the harm if I was slightly naughty?
And at that, we're suddenly treated to a message shaved into the fur of Courage's behind.